Welcome to the 4-minute videos for developer series. This is Nasir, a customer engineer at Google working on the Google Cloud Platform's Apigee product. In this video, I will show you how to apply a spike arrest policy against individual apps or developers. As prerequisites to this video, you should already know the basic concepts of spike arrest policy and should have an Apigee account to configure this use case. Let us see a scenario where we will need a spike arrest to be configured against an individual app developer. To make it easy to understand, let us use smaller transaction limits. Let's say I have a use case where my backend can only sustain 4 transactions per minute. I can easily add a spike arrest policy to enforce this restriction. But what if, let's say, developer A accesses the 4 transactions over 55 seconds and subsequently developer B logs in on the 55th second and tries to access his 4 transactions. Developer B cannot invoke a single transaction as the spike limit has already been fully used by developer A. One way to address this problem is to have a developer-specific spike arrest limit. Let's see how to do that. This can be done using an identifier element of the spike arrest. With this, if developer A already uses available limit, developer B can still, in the same time period, independently exercise his limit. Let us create the spike arrest policy with the unique identifier element. For that, I will log into apigee.com/edge and access the Apigee Edge UI. From within the Edge UI, I will select API proxies, and for this demo, I will use my sample API proxy which I have already created. In the sample API proxy, I will go to the Develop tab, and on the request preflow, I will add a spike arrest policy. I'll give it a name and click Add. And I will change the default 30 transactions per second rate of the spike arrest policy to 2 transactions per minute as per our use case. And I will change the identifier element, which is used to uniquely associate this rate to a particular developer, to a request parameter attribute that identifies my developer. Now that I have this policy configured, let me go ahead and save this policy. Now that the policy is saved, let me go to the trace tool to see this policy in action. I start the trace session, and you will notice that in my query param, I have developer A as the user. I make a call as developer A, and I get a response of 200 back, showing that the spike arrest policy did allow me to go to the back end. And I make another call. My second call was successful as well. But when I invoke my third call, the spike arrest policies come in effect and it will block my call. Now this shows that my limit for developer A has been reached. But if I log in as developer B and try to access the request, I should be able to access the request. And that's what happened. I get a 200 back. And this is because of the identifier element of the spike arrest policy we have used. I hope this session was informative. If you have any questions or comments, please log on to community.apigee.com. Thank you.